Long ago, in a faraway land, there lived a king so mighty that his power was known across the world. Yet, for all his strength, he carried a heavy heart, filled with a sadness so deep it often turned to anger. Every single night, he longed to hear a story, a tale that could mend his spirit. But no one could tell him a story that truly reached his soul. It seemed his loneliness was a fortress no one could breach. But in that very same kingdom lived a woman named Scheherazade. She was known far and wide, not just for her beauty, but for her gentle heart, her exceptionally clever mind, and a gift that was truly magical. The art of storytelling. One fateful evening, with courage and grace, Scheherazade stood before the king. She made him a simple offer to tell him a tale. Intrigued, the king agreed. And so, with a calm voice that seemed to dance in the candlelight, she began. Once upon a time, she started, there was a humble fisherman who lived by the sea. Each day he cast his net, hoping for a catch to feed his family. On this particular day, his net felt incredibly heavy. With all his might, he pulled, and what did he find? Not fish, but a heavy, ancient jar, sealed tightly with a strange and magical emblem. Curiosity got the better of him, and with a bit of effort, he pried it open. From within the jar, a magnificent, swirling cloud of smoke erupted, growing and taking shape until before him stood a powerful genie who had been imprisoned for hundreds of years. The genie roared, his voice like thunder, furious at his long confinement and ready to unleash his wrath. But the fisherman, though terrified, was clever. He didn't run. Instead, he spoke to the genie with wit and wisdom, his words carefully chosen to soothe the ancient being's rage. The genie, surprised by the man's courage and intelligence, felt his anger soften. In the end, instead of harming the fisherman, the genie rewarded him with unimaginable riches and the promise of a life free from hardship. The king, who had been listening with his chin resting on his hand, now leaned forward, his eyes wide with curiosity and amazement. He was completely captivated. Lost in the world, Scheherazade had woven with her words, but just as the tale reached its most thrilling point, as the fisherman was about to discover his newfound fortune, Scheherazade paused. She looked at the king and said softly, "The night is short, my king, and the dawn approaches. The rest of this adventure I will share with you tomorrow." The king, desperate to know what happened next, to hear the end of the fisherman's story, couldn't bear the suspense. He immediately agreed to let her return the next night, and so it began. Night after night, Scheherazade would come to the king and weave a new, spellbinding story, always stopping at the most exciting part. She told him tales of brave sailors navigating treacherous seas, of enchanted creatures living in hidden forests, of lost cities filled with forgotten treasures, and of clever heroes and heroines who outsmarted powerful foes. With each story, the king listened with a growing sense of wonder. Slowly, layer by layer, his deep-seated sadness began to fade away, replaced by a feeling he hadn't known in years. Joy. He felt hope blooming in his heart once more. He began to see the world not as a dark and lonely place, but as a realm of endless possibility and adventure. He realized that Scheherazade's wisdom, her kindness, and her magical stories had done what no army or treasure could ever do. They had healed his wounded heart. From that time on, Scheherazade was no longer just the king's storyteller. She became his most trusted advisor, his closest friend, and his beloved queen. Together they ruled with kindness and wisdom, and thanks to her incredible tales spun over 1,001 nights, the world was gifted with a treasure trove of magical stories that are still told today, whispered to children as they drift off to sleep, reminding us all of the power of a good story. And that, my friends, is the tale of Scheherazade. I hope you enjoyed this journey into a land of magic and wonder. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more stories that have shaped our world. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.